That markets update now. The local index remains under pressure with the rand still trading above the 18 rand mark against the US dollar. The JSE was weaker on Friday, capping a roller coaster week during which precious metals stocks in particular came under intense selling pressure, while the rest of the market held up on balance. Independent market analyst is Karl Gevers, and he joins us now for a quick update on how the JSE is faring in early trade. Karl, good morning to you. Your quick overview of how local trade is faring at the start of the week.
Yeah, good morning, Golly. We've seen stronger Asian markets, and that's feeding through to the JSE this morning. Early trade, the all share was up about 0.4%. Across the board, resources up 0.6%, industrials up 0.3%, and financials up 0.15%. And the rand, as you mentioned, hovering at the 18 rand to the dollar level. Today we have a holiday in the US, so trading might be a bit lighter than usual, but certainly a green start coming from the Asian side.
Yeah, let's talk commodities. Gold in tight range as more rate hikes loom, while oil traded as the rising US supplies lowered the optimism. What's driving trade in the commodities front?
Yeah, so if one looks at gold in particular, you've got high interest rates that generally discourage investment in a non-yielding asset like gold. And if the US keeps hiking, which generally makes the dollar more attractive than gold, that'll continue keeping gold in check. At least a stronger dollar and a higher interest rate would keep a cap on the gold there. Gold generally is seen as a hedge against uncertainty, as a sort of safe haven or insurance policy. So if there's some uncertainty, I think that certainly will drive gold. But in a rising interest rate environment, there will continue to be pressure on gold. On the other hand, if one looks at oil, it's more of a supply and demand play. You've got supply issues, that we saw coming through the whole Russian invasion of Ukraine. Somewhat, fixed in terms of where supplies are coming from at the moment, and it's becoming more of a demand issue now. The sort of play between the US potentially economic growth declining as interest rates start biting, and we've got the Chinese economy opening up again post-COVID. So a bit of a battle there, between those two. But I think long term, certainly, in terms of demand and supply, the lack of investment in supply might underpin the oil price.
Yeah. Let's get into company news now, and Anglo American Platinum publishing its annual results this morning. Help us make sense of their performance.
Yeah, they were pretty well guided in terms of the disappointing production, the production issues that they've had at their main asset, Mogalakwena, and also Amandelbult. So those production issues have led to lower sales, with revenue down 24% on the prior year. Additionally, we've seen the inflationary pressures coming through, with operating costs increasing. So headline earnings per share are going to be down, or are down 38%. Still a healthy earnings number of 185 rand per share. And also the dividends come down significantly, but still a decent dividend, given that the commodity prices are still elevated. But overall, disappointing, well guided, so the share price hasn't moved too much. And then, of course, just confirming again the resignation of the CEO, Natasha Viljoen, who is going to one of the gold companies in the US.
Very interesting development indeed. Let's conclude the conversation with Snapchat, which says it's adding more users, topping 750 million a month. Things are looking up for this platform.
Yeah, certainly an improvement. 10 months ago, they were sitting at 600 million per month. So certainly some growth there. It's been part of their strategy to add users and also get users to spend more time on the Snapchat app. There has obviously been the pressure on advertising revenue. So while users have increased, their revenue has actually come under a bit of pressure. and that's across the industry. And the main area there was Apple, where their privacy policy made it harder for them to track and personalize ads. So I think they're still, trying to grow their user base. They obviously have a lot of competition from the likes of TikTok, but I think certainly on the right track. Investors were a bit disappointed with the update, despite the user growth that we've seen, and the share price was down 3% after trade on Friday.
Karl Gevers is an independent market analyst. Thank you very much for that update.